You are a colonist on a far, far away planet and you're trying to survive. Today, Exoworld Survival from Starting Games. We do the review. Let's go! Welcome to Gaming in All Directions, Jeux tous azimuts. My name is Gilles Duval, and today we review this game from Starting Games, distributed by Tabletop Tycoons. Thank you for the review copy. The game is about surviving. This is a cooperative game, 1 to 5 players. There's a solo mode available as well. Let's start first by reviewing the components we got, and then we'll talk about the game and my review. So, it starts with a 2-layer board, nothing fancy, with resources and production level. Let's talk also about the manual. Very simple, contains list of components, setup, how a turn goes, what are the actions, how to resolve a turn, and so forth. No table of content, not necessary, very thin and very simple. You get a series of, I'll go on the top, a series of tokens for different conditions and penalty you have during the game. You have on the right here a home base. That's the first card, and your meeple, and other modules will attach to that. I've put them just to simulate an advanced game. You have the player cards that you're going to draw. There's a market with a few cards already available for you to pick up, or you can pick up straight from the deck. You have the action tokens, because you can have up to 4 actions during a turn, and you use those tokens for that. You also have the scenario cards. These are different planets, different levels. You get the lore of the planet on one side, and the starting conditions on the other. This is Proxima Centauri B. This is the first planet they suggest you use. There are 8 available, plus there's a TRAPPIST-1 expansion inside the box that add 4 more, and other cards and tokens for an additional mechanic in the game. You have a series of different characters you can impersonate during the game. Each character has 2 specific data on it: the number of cards you can hold on your in your hand, and the distance in movement when you're moving your character. You also have events, normal events and critical events. You have 2 types, and this deck will be used during a turn to I'm going to say spice up. Let's just say that things happen on the station that you have, and this is how you learn what's happening. So these are the components. Let's take a look at how a game works. So first you set up your planet with a certain level of production of different resources. So oxygen, water, food, and energy. The goal of the game is to actually come back to a level of production of either 0 or positive. Because right now, if you see, if I bring the board close, my levels are at -1, and I have a +1 for energy. So every turn at the end, I'm going to move the levels of my resources based on the production. So it's -1 for these 3 and +1 for those 3. So we'll see how this changes as we go along. You have up to 4 actions as a player you can take. When I say up to, you don't have to take 4 actions. You could do 2 and stop. Each player has a different set of 8 actions available. First, you can decide to move, and using the amount available up to, let's say, 4 movement, you can move. I'll go on the top. You can move in your station a certain number of cards. So let's say I move 2, I'm here. So that's 1 action. I'm going to turn my action token. That one is done. So I can remember I have done 1 out of the 4. The next action, I could decide to produce a supply. Now, based on the card where I'm at, this is oxygen, I could go and increase my level of oxygen to of 1. That's another action. Then I can decide to use an action to shut down or turn on a module. Now, some events might force you to shut down a module using this little token. This could be by choice, this could be by the event, but you could decide that a module needs to turn on or turn off. So you change you switch what the token does, you remove it or you add it to a module. And when you do that, you adjust your production based on what's on the card, meaning you could add one piece or remove one piece of level of production on your board. Next action you can take is repair. Now, some of the events will force you to put a problem on one of the module. Say, for example, I have some food here. Let's say that I decided I didn't repair anything. I move again, so that would be my third action. In my last action, I would say, you know what? I'm repairing. And then that would be my fourth action. So, and you turn those ready for the next turn for someone else or your own turn. A next action you could do after repair is draw a card. You could add another card to your deck, to your hand, up to the number you can hold based on the character you've chosen. You can take one of the market or you can take one from the deck itself. You could decide to wipe out the market with, let's say we have, we have 2 cards right now. I could decide to remove those 2 and draw the next 2 ones, like this. Okay, these are protocol. They are special cards that you can have within this, and you put the others back in the back of the deck. And then you can take another action later to pick up a card. Another possible action would be to transfer a card. Transfer means either give a card to another player or receive a card from another player, so you can maybe do a combo, or you need that card to do the other possible action, which is to deploy a module. Deploying a module would be, for example, let's say, let me take a module from there. There we go, oxygen generator. See, that one is this. Okay, you get your, on the left side, you have the cost. This is what cost me in cards with this symbol to deploy that module. So I need a water and a food card, a green and a blue, to discard, to deploy this module. So if I have the card, maybe I received one from a previous action, or I already had them, I can decide to place it somewhere here. It's like, expanding a dungeon crawler with tiles. The same principle. You expand your station with modules. Now, when you place a module, you're going to be able to adjust the production by the numbers that are here at the bottom of the card. For example, this one would say +2 in oxygen, -1 in water, nothing in food, and -1 in energy. So that's how this changes. Once my actions are done, I'm going to draw an event card. Now, events are either normal or critical. They're all mixed up in one. I didn't want to mix them right now, but you shuffle them at the beginning of the game. And you read what the card says. A little bit of lore here. Something happens. You get some leak somewhere or something like that. It says here, reduce the water supply by 3. Ouch. Supply. Oh. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Production is one thing. Supply is another. You get much more supply at the beginning. But it hurts. It really hurts. Now, once we're done, we're going to adjust the supply based on production. So we get +1 here. So if I go on the top, we get +1 here. So I move up 1. We got -2 in water. 1, 2. So I have to start looking up at that one. It's getting low for my taste. -1 in food. and nothing happens to the energy. So that ends my turn, and now I move on. Either another player or I do my next turn if I'm playing solo. But the solo mode, by the way, you handle 3 characters. The explanations are in the manual for that. So as you can see, this is like an equation balancing act. It's a challenge to bring production up to 0 or positive by adding modules, shutting down modules, or producing yourself with one of your actions some resources up to the point where you are reaching a living point. Well, let's be honest. The situation degenerates real fast. Okay? And that's one appeal and repellent of the game. So let's turn into. Did I mention everything I needed? I think so. Yes. So let's go into the review side. What do I like? First, okay, I got to talk about the art. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. That brings you when you're looking at that on the shelf. It's beautiful. We'll come back to the art in a moment. You have multiple characters, and the expansion adds a few more. So replayability with different characters is a very good thing. It changes the dynamic because you can move further or less. You can have more cards or less in your hand. The table space used by the game is not too bad. Not too bad. You know, it's not a hog like Scarface 1920 or a large dungeon crawler. The only place where it's going to grow is here in the area of your base. So depending on how you grow, you can take a little more space with that. This is a real cooperative game. Okay, you can't do it alone. If you are multiple players, you have to work together to bring this over. There's not something like, someone is gonna do this alone to save or decide, hey, I'm gonna tank this thing and we're gonna die. Well, if you have that kind of player, well, that's a different story. It's an interesting puzzle. It's a balancing act, an efficiency puzzle that allows you to try to reach that neutral level of production or better. The solo, as I was saying earlier, forces you to play 3-handed, meaning 3 characters. So it's kind of interesting. I think it gives you more possibilities than having just 1 character or 2 if you're playing at 2. So in a sense, it's kind of better than the multiplayer, especially if you're not 3. Now, that's what I like. What are the missed opportunities? Well, first of all, let's do this. This is ugly. Real ugly. I'm sorry about that, but there's not less I can say about, not more I can say about this. 5-year-old could have drawn something like this. Trying to keep the visual of a game is one appeal that wants you to bring it back to the table. This is not it. Okay, this is just a grid with a bunch of cubes or circles. It could have been easy ways to make this a little more appealing, just visually. Instead of using cubes, you could have used crystals, for example. Just a simple change, not in cost, but in visual aspect. And adjust the cubes to fit for the crystals. Same thing with the production level. Okay, easily could have used something else to make it more interesting visually. The rest of the game looks good. I mean, nothing to write home about. Well, maybe a little bit, but it's good. It looks nice. It's appealing. Not that. It's a little bit punitive, this game. If you're not used to, or if you don't like punitive games, this may not be a game for you. I wish there was, or maybe there's probably online a forum that has a simpler variant where you have a benefit that helps you counter the fact of the punishing every turn, having your production being reduced all the time, maybe to mitigate this. I know that in gaming you have the get good principle where it's after playing, playing, and playing you get better. But for this puzzle, I think an easier mode would be welcome. I'm gonna give this game a 6 out of 10. It's decent. It's a nice stay, I would call it. If you put this on the table, I will definitely play, but I'm not gonna seek it out on my shelf directly. It's a robust challenge of resource management. If you like to feel like trying to plug a hole on the Titanic, well, this is a game for you. You play a few times and either you fall in love or you just fall out. As simple as that. Solo is probably the best way to enjoy this because of the number of characters you play. Or if you have multiple players, that's probably going to be a little bit better. Now, my recommendations, besides that one, if you like the punitive type of game, Pandemic, anything in that family will definitely answer or scratch that itch. Or if you like situation that degenerates real fast and you are submerged by opposition compared to these resources, I would say any Zombicide or Nemesis type of games could be also to look for. If you like resource management, but there's a game where the resources are managed automatically for you, it's Agricola. Very simple, and that might be something of interest. So these were my thoughts on this. Thank you for watching. We explore the world of games, and maybe one of them, this one, if you like a tough challenge cooperative, might interest you. My name is Gilles Duval. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye bye.